almost got there anyway. Grella finished it well. It was a bit, a good bit of skill. But I think on our part it was a little bit of fatigue. But certainly, the Red Bull put together a good combination there, and it was a quality finish.
Matt?
With so many chances in the first half, what much to say to the group at halftime?
We just said continue to play the way we're playing because our tactics were right. We had talked about the tactics. We had talked about how we wanted to play. The guys had followed that, and I thought we opened them up fairly well. So I said continue to do what we're doing. We can get goals, but then when you're 1-0 down, it's really nothing. But then when you get 2-0 down, it becomes a little bit harder.
Frank, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, tough night for Jordan up front as well. Are these nights as important in his development as the nights that he finds the net as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's his first professional year, and the thing is, every game over the last 6 or so that he's played for us, he's gotten 3 to 4 good looks in each game, and now it's a matter of him. Instead of finishing 20% of those looks, he needs to start finishing 30 and 40, and then 50% of those looks, and that just comes with experience.
Franco?
Kind of going off of that, you guys, I know you guys have a lot of attacking talent. You guys have 3 chances, but you've lost 4 of your last 5 games and 3 by shutout. How do you create these chances and turn these chances into goals?
We got to score goals. It's a matter of continuing to go to the practice ground, continue to work on our finishing, but a lot of it is just the confidence of the players.
Matt?
Be easier to answer personally if the 500.
They're young guys, and so we need to wait for those guys to mature a little bit. And it would help if we stayed injury-free. I mean, when you look at the Red Bull front 6, if you take out Lloyd Sam, the other 5 have probably played 95% of their last 50 games together. So that leads to continuity and understanding.
Considering, following up on that, there was one point in the second half, shot went just wide of the post. You turned, you could see the frustration on your face. So we just put one on net. That frustration, I mean, from your perspective, how do you get it out of them so that they can finish those chances? They seem to be more frustrated than anything else.
Well, I think they're equally frustrated on the field. Obviously, when they're playing the game, they can't sit there and pout and throw a tantrum and stop playing. But it's just a matter of continuing to work on it, like I said, and at practice, continuing to put an emphasis on scoring goals in training. As a sub, he's come on and made an impact for us coming off the wing. This was the first game he started for us on the wing. He started there for Trinidad numerous times, and again, he's such a good player. I always expect a little more from him.
Great. Thanks, guys.
A few of us dedicated fathers. Yeah. You guys should be getting out of here. We'll make this quick.
Start to the right.
You guys, you come back from a break and still manage to maintain the momentum. Another shutout for you guys. How pleased are you with that performance?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't our best to be honest, but you have to credit Seattle that they came in here and they decided they were going to try and play. They did a good job, especially in the first half of at moments putting us on our heels. But there's a lot of pride right now within the group to get shutouts and to prevent goals from going in. So Connor's sliding, all of our backs are sliding around. Dax and Felipe are running back. On set pieces, you see our guys making big, desperate plays. Luis is doing a good job of keeping everybody tuned in, surveying, making saves, being so solid. So that's going to be a key for us moving forward here. Is we got to continue to find ways to get clean sheets and not give goals away.
We'll go
Jesse.
back corner to Fooch.
Jesse, sometimes a player can feed off his
head coach's confidence in him. Is that what's going on here with Grella?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to take credit for Mike because I think Mike's just gotten himself going as the season's gone on, and he's gotten sharper and sharper and more confident. And the thing with Mike is always getting the balance right of when to play simple and then when to do special things. And clearly, when he gets that balance right, he's very difficult to deal with. And I thought the third one was going in, the one that went just wide. But right now, he's sharp. He's been really good. All of our attacking guys have been really sharp. So, right now on both sides of the ball, we feel like we've got a lot of options, and we're going to have to call on a lot of them with a busy week.
Jesse, we'll go to your left with Brian.
Jesse, you had Sasha come out in the 60th. Was that something you saw because it was a tactical switch? Colin went in, you went a 5-man back.
Well, once we were thinking about going to a 5-man back when it was 1-0, and then once it goes 2-0, now you're thinking, all right, who do you take off the field when you go to 5, and then hopefully conserve that person a little bit for potentially Wednesday and then Saturday. So, I think Sasha pushed hard in Rochester, played 90 minutes, so it made sense to get him off and see if we can get him recovered and regenerated and throw him back out there on Wednesday.
Front left to Dan.
2 questions, Jesse. First, against this game against Seattle, it felt like they play the same way you play. You're both pressing, you're both attacking. Did you feel this was going to be a great challenge when they came over here tonight?
Well, again, I think Seattle played really well. Of all the games I've seen them play this year, I think this was one of their best, and they put us on our heels. I thought we could have done better if we would have pressed together at moments and picked off more balls, but they were clever. They were good on the ball. They had good movements and spaced themselves well and pulled us apart. So we haven't had many teams do that here at Red Bull Arena. So that was that was something that we'll look at and continue to think about how we can improve on that, but I'll give Seattle credit.
And secondly, you're now 1 point behind Philadelphia in the standings after the start that you had, and now you have on this big unbeaten streak right now. How does it feel for yourself and for the guys right now?
Yeah, we've rebounded really well, and I think we were going to use the downtime to motivate us and to make us clear on what it was going to take to be successful. So I think that has been the case, but it's still ongoing. It doesn't stop. You have to continue to push. You can't stop and be too proud of yourself, because that's when the next slip up will come. So we have to stay focused. It's a really hard week. I mean, I don't know how the league can arrange a week like this for us. I put a lot on them in the scheduling that this was really poor, especially now with travel between Salt Lake and Columbus. And it's the worst combination of Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday you could possibly have. So not happy about it, but whatever. We got to suck it up and figure out a way to put a team out on Wednesday to go after the game.
Hi, Jesse. Just to continue off that a little bit with the rotation, how satisfying is it to rotate your players once again and get another clean sheet, and for how you're going to approach the next 2 games with the road trip?
Yeah, I mean, we said at the beginning of the year that we believed in our roster, and we wanted it to be the type of thing where we could rotate. We could rotate tactics at time, and we could rotate players at time. And a lot of it was due to matchups and who we would be playing against. And so, I mean, it was that wasn't an easy thing to do, to not put Aurelian in the lineup tonight, but we thought that Chris matched up really well against Jordan Morris in his speed. Chris has done a really good job for us, so we've gotten to the point where we rely on him, and not just at right back, but at center back. And in the end, I think that, Chris was a big piece of us preventing goals from going in tonight. And then, having Aurelian come on off the bench was a big plus too.
We'll stay to your right, Jesse.
Jesse, when we talk about attackers, we always talk about consistency. Did you have any concerns with Mike going into this season, given the way it started and all that kind of thing, that maybe the form wouldn't carry over from last campaign?
No. I mean, there was talk about Brad early in the year. There was talk about Mike, Lloyd, Sasha. We weren't scoring a lot of goals. There was questions, but I know these guys. I know what they're about. I watch them every day. They're great men. They're very good players. They give everything they have, and it was just a matter of redefining certain things and really now, getting them going to the point where now when they step on the field, they're clear and they're confident. And so clearly, when you look at Mike right now, that's the case.
We'll take our last question with Dan.
There's a good chunk in the middle portion of the game where Seattle had a huge amount of chances, and it seemed like play was always on your end, but the defense always seemed to come up huge. How has your defense been able to play so well over the course of the past 4 games?
Well, how we're talking about confidence from some of the attacking players, there's a lot of confidence in the defending group right now, and a lot of it comes from pure effort. Right, for most guys, just throwing themselves around, running back at the top speeds, trying to cut down space. If one guy gets beat, the next guy's alert to help deal with the next situation, and now total commitment. So that's led to confidence, and now where before it was always waiting for a goal to happen, now it's waiting for a guy to make a play to prevent goals, and so that momentum has been really good for us.
Thanks, Jesse.